Hey y'all, I'm excited. It's a fun day. It's Black History Month, so we are doing something really cool. I wanted to go myself to some Black-owned companies to highlight their brands and just to pick their brains and all of that. So I'm really excited. Today we're at Naturalicious. I love that name, Naturalicious. We can ready to go in here and talk to some brown-skinned girls. Hey. So here we go. Are we going somewhere else? Yes, we're going somewhere else. And so just stay tuned and of course support them and all of that. And welcome to my YouTube channel. You got your 1160 mask or whatever. Speaking of Black-owned businesses. They believe it, let them see it, let them see you. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Choose to love and watch how it illuminates your soul. Show the world so they believe it, let them see it, let them see it. Sally and Whole Foods. Oh, look at the wall. I want one of those at our office. So, y'all, I just walked into the owner, the queen of the ship or whatever, the castle. And this is Miss Gwen.
Hello. Welcome. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Can we sit down and talk to you?
Yeah, sure.
You want to take my temperature?
Let's do the formality.
Please.
Make sure we're safe.
What is it?
96.7. You straight.
That's good.
Yes, you're doing well.
This is so pretty. Did
Thank
you
you.
interior design too?
I did design this, but I am not an interior designer. I just know what I want stuff to look like, and I know I want the vibe, what I want the vibe to be.
Okay.
And the feel that I want people to have when they come in. That's kind of how we are as a company in general. Like everything we do is about creating excellence at every touch point.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the vibe that I want people to have when they come in, I want them to feel like they are beautiful. That's why we have the mirror.
Okay.
It says hello gorgeous when you first walk in. So you see yourself.
Love it.
And you realize that, hey, I am the standard of beauty.
Absolutely. You know? How long have you been doing this?
This makes 8 years. It'll be 8 years next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And how do you feel? What are the ups and downs? Can you let us in on some things? Like, how do you feel? You know how they say, oh, some people well, I'll say this. A lot of people say entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What would you share, like, concerning the challenges and things like that?
Entrepreneurship is not for everybody because there's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows, and there's rarely an in-between. You know, and so you have to be able to weather those lows. You know, I've had some really low lows and some amazing highs, and oftentimes you'll have more lows than highs, but ideally those highs are so big that they just knock out all those lows, you know.
Got you. So. Naturalicious. How did you come up with that name?
You know, people ask me that all the time.
Please.
And I wish I had a fabulous story. But I don't. I really, again, it's just about the feeling that I wanted people to have, right? Yeah. When I started my company, this was before there were like tons and tons and tons of natural hair companies all over the place.
Okay.
This was before you could go to any store and get natural hair. I mean, at this natural hair products. At that point, this was 2011 when I started thinking about it. In 2013 when I actually launched.
Got you.
You couldn't go to Target and Walmart and anywhere. You had to go to Brooklyn to get some Carol's Daughter. Hopefully, you know. Or like go to like, you know, here in Detroit, go to like Eastern Market and hopefully found somebody that was selling something. So it was like I wanted to make sure that natural was in the name, but I also wanted it to be fun, you know. And so I started thinking about like what feels fun, what feels exciting, and just Naturalicious just kind of swooped and came to me. And I always say that, you know, God has His hands in so many things, and when it just feels like it's easy and it just kind of isn't so much of an effort, you know, a lot of times that's just Him steering you where He wants you to go.
Absolutely.
And so Naturalicious just came to me. It just made sense. I got the logo done right away, and it was like, that was it. So I don't have like a really fun, fabulous story.
That's
it was literally
good
just
enough.
like God swooped into my brain
and gave you that.
Gave me the name, and that was it.
Listen, and I think a lot of people. I was watching something from another entrepreneur guru, and he was saying, I think we put too much thought into a lot of things, and sometimes that's our answer to not go forward. And so you giving that answer, which it can be simple, but when it's simple and easy, sometimes that's our green light.
Absolutely.
You know, rather than thinking like, well, oh, do I got to do this and do I got to do all that? But it should come easy. So that was a perfect answer.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we as humans, we just expect things to be challenging and difficult.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you're in alignment with your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing, which is part of the reason why we've pivoted a bit as a business, because I feel like we are so much more in alignment than we were even just 2 years ago.
Got you.
In what we do now and serving the women that we serve.
So Gwen, when we first were like in the beginning of the pandemic, I wish I had known about the Repair Your Hair Challenge, because I was fearful that my hair was falling out. And I think it was because of the product. I kept saying it's either the product that I'm using or it's something I'm doing wrong. Because my hair seemed as if it was thinner than it was when I would go to my natural hair specialist, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so to know about your Repair the Hair Challenge, what is it called?
Repair Your Hair Challenge.
Repair Your Hair Challenge.
Yeah.
Because when I would blow dry it, it just seemed really thin. And I'm like, what's going on? So did you have those kinds? Is that kind of what helped kind of kick off the challenge?
I mean, the first time that we did it in March, which was basically, or April, which was the month after the pandemic started. Or started here in America at least.
Gotcha.
And we were just like, we're just doing this for the pandemic. That's it.
Okay.
These women got so close to each other and so connected, because we do it on Zoom. And so they got so connected, and it's so unique because it's literally 15 days, but I'm in the shower with you washing my hair. So we're washing our hair together. I'm actually showing you how to actually wash your hair, because quiet as it's kept, most people actually don't know how to wash their hair properly.
Please give me some tips. Okay, let's just see. Let's look, please.
All right, so yeah, so this is and I have to thank Mike. Mike set this all up, so he did a bomb job. He keeps this looking very beautiful.
Thanks, Mike.
But this is our flagship system. It's called the Hello Gorgeous system.
Okay.
It's a 3-step process. So it comes with steps 1, 2, and 3. And it's literally everything that you need for your hair in a box.
Okay.
The beautiful thing about it is that every single product does multiple steps.
Gotcha. So
normally you'll have to buy a shampoo, a conditioner, a deep conditioner, a detangler, do a leave-in conditioner, all these, 6 or 7 different things.
Gotcha.
Just to do one thing. Well, this one product is 5 steps in one product.
Okay.
And this is actually the product that made me the first Black woman to own a patent on a natural hair care product.
Wow. Ooh, this smells good.
We'll give you a kit before you go.
I'm gonna buy mine.
I appreciate you.
Please.
Thanks. Give me 1 second.
So good.
Thank you. Yeah, Black history. To me, Black history is American history. It's world history. It happens every single day. There's people making it right now, who may not show up in the history books.
Yeah.
Or they might.
Yeah.
The one thing that kind of frustrates me a little bit about when we talk about Black history is that, I'm going to toss this to you. Thank you. One thing that frustrates me when we talk about Black history, especially in schools, is that kids they learn about like the struggle.
Okay.
We don't start from true Black history, which is the kings and the queens of Africa.
Yeah.
We start from the pain points from the struggle. Not to say that the struggle isn't relevant. It is. It's super important to understand it. But I think there's and I'm not a psychologist, but I have to believe there's some sort of psychology involved when you're a young Black child and everything you learn about your ancestors is struggle. Like slavery. We learn about slavery. We learn about Jim Crow. We learn about the bus boycotts. And all of that is so important. But what about the kings and the queens of Africa? What about Nefertiti and Shaka Zulu? And I mean, even when we get to America, what about the people who invented things that we cannot live without? If it weren't for Black people, my son says this all the time, if it weren't for Black people, we wouldn't survive. Because we have invented everything. I mean, from even things that we don't even learn about, like ironing boards. We invented that. Toilet paper holders. We invented that. Obviously, a lot of us know about the traffic lights and things like that. But it's like, even the technology that allows us to be able to text message was created by Black people. So when we talk about Black history, I want people to start talking about those things too.
Yes.
Let's talk about all the greatness that we've done.
Absolutely.
Because without us, we literally no one would be able to survive in today's society.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love it. It's funny you said that, because we were just talking about that in the studio. Tasia, myself, and an engineer that I work with, his name is Q. Shout out to Q. But we were talking about how, like you said, in our schools, they're teaching us about slavery, but not teaching us that we come from queens and kings.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. It's absolutely important that we teach our own children, that we educate ourselves.
Absolutely.
I feel very fortunate that my mom was very adamant about me learning about a lot of things. So even at my son's school, his school does not like actively celebrate Black History Month.
Okay.
But like it's up to the teachers to do it.
Yeah.
And so he was one of the only brown faces in the class, you know, so every year I'm at the teacher like, hey, it's December, what you doing for Black History Month?
Right.
And they're like, oh, I don't have anything planned. And so I make it easy for them. I say, I'll come up with the lesson plan. All you gotta do is distribute it. But I'm the only one in the school doing that. So the other kids, if they're not in his class, they don't get it. And it's just so interesting to me because when I was younger, Black History Month was a thing. Like the whole school did it.
Absolutely. We used to wear the what you call it, the Afrocentric gear.
Yeah, the dashikis and all that. You know, it's like, what do you mean you don't celebrate Black History Month?
Wow, so you as just a parent,
just a parent,
with the lesson plan.
Yeah,
that's amazing. You're just amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I made the trip.
Absolutely.
Well, Gwen, thank you again for having us. Can you tell us where to go to follow you and just to buy products?
Absolutely.
And all of
Would
that?
you like to check out the warehouse?
Please, I didn't know we could go back there.
This is where products get made, where they get these are pallets that we have to ship out to our fulfillment companies. And so products that have to be boxed up. And so normally this is a full operation. We have 4 team members who are in here on a constant basis. They're not here today. Donna is here. Donna is actually our she's our production manager.
Okay.
Donna does not like being on camera.
Oh, okay.
But this is where it all basically goes down. And you know, I started this in my basement.
Okay.
With my son, he was 2 at the time.
Okay.
And we outgrew the basement, moved to the kitchen.
Gotcha.
And then the kitchen became too small, and we grew to another space in Detroit, over on Rosa Parks.
Okay.
And so we were there for a while, for a couple years, and that's when Donna started working for us.
Okay.
And you know, now we're here, and it's been, you know, we have about 13 employees.
So has it been a challenge for you hiring millennials?
Oh, that's a good question.
That will stick?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think. Yes and no.
Okay.
I think just people in general, or you know, it's just managing people in general
Yes.
it's a whole thing, you know.
Gotcha.
I'm very lucky that I have a fantastic operations manager who manages them very, very well.
Gotcha.
But I think millennials get a bad rap because I'm a quote unquote older millennial.
Gotcha.
You know, so I'm kind of biased a little bit.
Yes, I get it. I am too.
But I think that just people in general, it doesn't matter what age range they're in. You know, some people are going to be amazing.
Yes.
Some people are going to be terrible. And some people are going to be in between.
Gotcha.
Our customer service team is actually comprised of mostly millennials.
Okay.
And they are fantastic. I
You
mean,
know
they're
what?
awesome.
Now that you say that, the majority of us are millennials. Shamika, you're a millennial, right?
I'm a Gen Z technically, about 1 year, but I'm a millennial.
About 1 year, okay.
Yes.
Justin's a millennial. Mel's a millennial. Who else do we work with? You just had me to do some reflecting because I've been in a season where I was frustrated with building a team, a solid team. And surprisingly, Tasia is, like she said, a year after the millennials. And I'm hoping to encourage another entrepreneur that may be trying to build a solid team that will stick. Because there's so, like you said, just managing people. But when I asked you the question, do you have a challenge with certain people or a generation of people? Tasia is technically my no. But of course, you know, but developing that relationship, and no as in good, you know what I mean? but building that relationship, it's been a challenge. You know, just trying to find people that will believe in your vision, that won't treat it as like a second priority and things like that. So that's exciting to hear. The majority of y'all are millennials. I love it. I think you are going to just be one full episode. We were supposed to go to another one. But again, this is Miss Gwen of Naturalicious. And I mean, I hope that you were inspired. So many things you said today with God dropping you the idea, then you just kind of sticking to it, entrepreneurship, getting out of the weeds. It's so many lessons, and then to see your establishment, I just pray that God continues to just allow you to go bigger and bigger. And it was even more inspiring to see when we walked up on the door to see the other brands that you have had the opportunity to partner with, Ulta, Whole Foods, and what was the other one?
Sally Beauty.
So just congratulations.
You know, and speaking of Ulta, that is a God-ordained situation. She was like, well, you know what? I really like what you're talking about. Why don't you send some products to my team? I was like, I'll do you one better. I got some right here. And I handed her the products.
You gotta be ready.
I handed her the products. I handed her my deck. And she, yes, always be ready. I handed her my deck, and she was like, wow, okay, you ready? I'm like, I am. Yeah. And so she then went on about her business at the conference. And the conference was an all-day thing. It was supposed to be over at like 7 o'clock. Yeah. But I saw her getting on the elevator at 5. And I was like, she's about to leave. And so she was like, my plane didn't leave, by the way, till like 10 o'clock that night. Okay. So I saw her getting on the elevator. Okay. And I was like, hey, are you leaving? She's like, yeah, I'm about to head to the airport. I was like, me too. So I get on the elevator and we take the ride up. And she's like, well, what airline are you on? I was on Delta, she was on American Airlines. 2 totally different terminals. Yeah. I was like, well, I'm on, she's like, I was like, where are you going? She said, American Airlines. I was like, me too. But that allowed me to get in the car with her and build that relationship. I'm such a relationship person. I love it. You know, and so building that relationship and just kind of giving a chance to talk to her, because who knew when I was going to get that chance again? Right. You know, you gotta make your own luck sometimes. Absolutely. And I just feel like, you know, God will put you in situations, but it's up to you to like take the torch and do something with it, right? I don't hear from her for about 2 months. I'm emailing her, no hit back. That was November. By January, she finally emailed me and told me that her team was going to bring Naturalicious products into Ulta.
Girl, I'm about to cry.
Yes. So.
Oh my God.
I mean, and it was just like, oh my goodness, all these people told me that we were not for Ulta, that we were not an Ulta brand, that our packaging wasn't up to par, all these different things, but it was like, God has a whole different plan.
Oh my goodness.
You know, so.
And sometimes God will allow those moments to happen so that no man can get the credit for it. It's just, look, I'm gonna show you that I am actually your agent.
Absolutely.
Every relationship you come across will be established because of me, even unintentionally. So that's just amazing. Our opportunity with Macy's came through what I thought was spam.
Oh, wow.
I thought my cousin was playing a joke on me, and she sent me one of those text or a link. And it was just the same story. I'm just connecting with you and saying God will do things like that. So I hope y'all were inspired. Gwen was so open and transparent. It's so many tips. Let me run through them. She said 8 years, she stuck with it. And then she gave you a different perspective on not thinking that it's a generation of people, but it's just a matter of managing people. So how well do we manage people? Sometimes I feel like maybe some companies don't start or get off the ground because maybe there's some character building that we have to go through. Or even like you just said, I think that was a perspective that I needed to hear. But that's another thing. And then we came in here. What else did you say? Your son? So such thing as having your family in a business. He's been working since 2. And I think the other beautiful thing is that you are training your son to have stability. Because like you said, it's a lot of people that work jobs and they tap out after a certain while. What else did you say? Oh my God. People told her no, but he set her next to who she said she wanted to work with. Okay. You got 2 living testimonies. You want to have testimony service? But what else did you say? It was so much good stuff. Beautiful soul she is. Thank you, Gwen.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh. Can I hug you? I have tested negative.
Oh, me too.
Okay, y'all. Make sure you subscribe and click the notifications, all of that. And please support our sister, Gwen, and everything that she's doing. And make sure you get your products, your Naturalicious products. Look, we in the warehouse, y'all.
Yes.
And she's taking good care of us. Love you all. Thank you again, Gwen.
Bye.